Live from the City of Angels. You are watching the BAFTAs post-game show, which is kind of wild because right now the BAFTAs are airing in the UK. They tape delay it. Isn't that the strangest thing? We don't do that with the Oscars. We get to see it live. So BAFTAs now is taped, but we have the results now, and we know this. Oppenheimer has won 7 BAFTA awards. That is a very big haul. Obviously, it wins the big ones: Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor, Supporting Actor, Score, Cinematography, Editing. Those are the key wins here for Oppenheimer. The one that was surprising is American Fiction beating Oppenheimer in adapted screenplay. That'll be fun to see what happens when it comes to Oscar, but let's start with the big one. It is Best Film. And right now, as we go to awardsace.com, as you know, that's my website where I track this stuff all year long. And finally, we are near the finish line. We are coming down the home stretch, and I am thrilled. I imagine you are as well. We've talked about these films for 6 months plus in some cases. Oppenheimer remains your number 1 seed on the draft board as we go with number 2. Barbie still there. Holdovers. Anatomy of a Fall creeping up. Anatomy of a Fall wins original screenplay at BAFTA. That is another win for that film. It's probably going to win an Oscar. It's the favorite right now for that. So that film is creeping up. I mean, it was like maybe a borderline film for a while, but now with the screenplay win, you have to put it all the way up there. Killers of the Flower Moon in 5th. Poor Things, Maestro, American Fiction with that screenplay adapted win here today. Past Lives and Zone of Interest. Zone of Interest wins Best British Film. Also, Best Film Not in the English Language, which, of course, is Best International Feature for the Oscars. I think that film obviously is going to win. We called that from day one. Once you see Zone of Interest, you know it's going to win the international feature, formerly foreign language. And it's certainly the most powerful film, I think, in that category without question, even though it has been a strong year, again, for that category. You know, listen, if you're to ask me, what film do I want to watch if I go to the multiplex, I'm going to tell you I want a grounded film. And where do I typically find those? In international feature. Go back over the past several years and you look at some of the best films that we have had in theaters. They have been part of this category. But let's go back to Oppenheimer. I think at this point, there's no question it's going to win Best Picture, Best Director. Nolan has that locked. Cillian Murphy is the favorite now in Best Actor. He always was. You go back and you look at what I have on awardsace.com. I've had him number 1 over Giamatti. I flipped that once we got to Golden Globes and really SAG. It really just feels like Cillian is going to win this thing, even though Giamatti's not out. But if you're putting money down, you have to put it on Cillian Murphy right now. In Best Actress, I think you go with, and for the longest time, I had it as Lily Gladstone. I still think she can win. It really depends on what happens at SAG. So it's still a 2-woman race for Best Actress, Gladstone or Stone. I think it's going to be Emma Stone at this point. I'm going to move her up to the number 1 spot. But here's why I think Lily Gladstone still has a really good shot to win this thing. You got to remember, the Academy loves speeches from underdogs. And what is Lily Gladstone head-to-head versus Emma Stone? A underdog. That means do not count her out. I'm telling you, that's like a 50-50 proposition for me. I'm going to go 51 Emma and 49 Lily, where before I had it 51 Lily, 49 Emma. I think that it's going to be, it's so close. It's really going to be wild. I'm going to take some comments here as we go over a few other categories. Let's go through all the winners right now. I've mentioned film, actress, actor, director. Makeup and hair goes to Poor Things. Costume design, Poor Things. Oh, God. Outstanding British Film, Zone of Interest. And then we go to production design, Poor Things. That is a little bit of a surprise. For me, you got to go Oppenheimer there. Poor Things has a lot of visual effects going on. Granted, there's production design. Don't get me wrong. But, for me, having to build Los Alamos, all of those, a lot of that, recreating the period details of Oppenheimer, that is the choice for me for production design. For sound, Zone of Interest, so key to that film. It's crucial. I mean, that film is all about the horrors that you don't see, but yet you hear right next to Auschwitz. That's why that film will win for sound. Scores, Oppenheimer. Guys, I told you I had a chance to see Ludwig Göransson perform that live as they did the score at UCLA as the film played. And if you've never been to one of those, I've seen Parasite that way. Now I've seen Power of the Dog and Oppenheimer. There's nothing more powerful than to sit there in the room as they are performing that score, especially one as elite, right? This is one of the best scores ever. When you talk about the importance of score to film, it is so crucial in so many cases, and maybe none more so than in Oppenheimer. And go back to Tenet again, Göransson, same thing. That score is part of the DNA of the film. And if you're not selecting that as your winner, we're doing something wrong. As much as I like the Spider-Verse and Pemberton's work, it's got to be Göransson. He's going to win at Oscar. Documentary, 20 Days in Mariupol, Best Supporting Actress, Divine Joy Rudolph, and she was she had that locked for months. It's not a surprise. Some of these things are foregone conclusions, such as Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Remember the people saying, Charles Melton's gonna... Where are my Charles Melton idiots? The film Twitter dweebs who don't know anything. Listen, you can't trust these people. Don't listen to them. Film Twitter is profuse with people who have no effing idea what they're talking about. Literally zero. Yet they tell us these things are going to happen, and they don't. Now, I hate Poor Things, but at the same time, I knew Emma Stone was going to be a serious contender for Best Actress. Whether I loved the film or not, that was going to happen. So that's the thing. You have to at least be honest and try to be objective. Even though you loathe a film, you still have to be honest about the situation. Let's go back to the rest of the winners here at BAFTA. A couple comments. And then tonight, the big stream. I'm going to go after Chris Stuckman. He deserves it. This is one of the biggest film voices on Twitter, and he is milquetoast, and he needs to step aside. He is wasting our time, and I don't know why anybody watches that guy. Honest to God, I don't. First of all, if he doesn't put you in a coma, I don't know what does. If I need to go to bed at night, if I am having trouble with insomnia, I'm going to put a Chris Stuckman video on so I can take my Z's quickly. Like within minutes, bang, I'm out. Lights out. Stuckman's on, I'm asleep. Casting, holdovers. That's the new category coming next year to the Oscars. Mention editing, Oppenheimer. Mention film not in the English language, which is international feature, Zone of Interest. And then we have the British debut, Earth Mama, animated film, Boy and the Heron. Can we talk about that for a moment? Boy and the Heron. And I sent a tweet out, and I believe this 100%, and I know I'm right, and you guys know I'm right. Come in and try to take me on. Bring it. If it were not a Miyazaki film, The Boy and the Heron would be in no position to possibly beat Spider-Verse for Best Animated Feature. This is another case of us, not me, but film Twitter, savagely overvaluing a director. We do not give awards to legacy. We give awards to current work. Why are we doing this shit? I don't care if my favorite director, pick a director of note. Let's go Nolan, let's go Bong, let's go Villeneuve, let's go whoever you want to do. When the next film comes, I'm not going to assume it's a masterpiece. And when you watch The Boy and the Heron, you say, this isn't a masterpiece. But film Twitter, what do they specialize in? Calling things they can't imagine a world in which their heroes or what they've been told is always great isn't great. And that makes you pathetic. Don't do that shit. You value things only on the current situation right now. As many streams as I've done here on MMT, and God knows a lot of them sucked, I expect you to only judge this stream. That's it. We're not going to go, oh, well, the one from 3 weeks ago was good. This one sucked. But you can't. You can't do it. Yes, some directors are consistent. Some movies, overall, you can predict are going to be solid because it's Scorsese, it's Nolan, it's Tarantino. But they have misfires. And we got to stop doing this. And Miyazaki's Boy and the Heron is one of the most overrated films of 2023. And the fact that it's about ready to beat Spider-Verse, a remarkable achievement in animation and in film, is nauseating. And it's another reason why I want to divorce Film Twitter. I never want to talk. Film Twitter can go. This is the new, I'm going to do a new show called Film Twitter Go to Hell. Oh, my God. Probably the mic volume just lowered because I've been yelling into it for a while. Exactly, Byron. Stuckman and Johns are the biggest film voices on YouTube. That's why tonight we're going to attack Chris Stuckman. He deserves it. That's the stream tonight. That's why we're doing a BAFTA stream now, to get this out of the way so we can just touch on it tonight, but have this nice little 15, 20-minute stream about BAFTAs. All right, what else do you see? And then we're going to go. SAG will help determine the best actress winner, no question. Exactly. It's a coin toss, 51-49, 50-50. It's really Lily and Emma, whoever wins, good luck guessing that. Again, now I would stay Stone, because as we saw with Coleman, just going back to the favorite, you win BAFTA, it helps. Now, that said, Cate Blanchett didn't help her last year. So it's not always the case. It should have happened last year with Cate Blanchett. The fact that it didn't happen with Cate Blanchett is effed up. I mean, that's one of the worst mistakes ever by the Academy. Everyone raging about the Iron Claw. Listen, I like the Iron Claw a lot, but you're going to talk about the biggest criminal activity ever by the Academy. That's not, snubbing the Iron Claw is not that. You know what it is? Tar and Cate Blanchett not going with 0 Oscars. Are you kidding me? That performance, that film, that is criminal. Let's focus on realities here. All right, tonight we're going to go after Chris Stuckman, go after Shills, go after the state of film criticism as always. And let me tell you, thank you for being here. Those of you who watch the channel, you know one thing that we are is 100% authentic and fearless, and we will take everybody on forever. That is the way this channel's designed. Appreciate you being here. We're back tonight. 8:30 or so here in LA, 11:30 on the East Coast. Peace out. See you tonight on MMT, the Sunday evening spectacular.